hello to Veckans Band Metal Radio. So can you tell which band you play from E, and who is you?
Who is me? I am Giancarlo Veteran. I play guitar and vocals for the band OVERHATE.
Okay. So are you ready for the question?
Yeah, most definitely.
So who is made the song in your band?
The main
Yeah, who made the song?
who made what made the sound of the band? Well, at the beginning is what I mean, at the beginning of first record, I have to say it's quite experimental because everybody was trying to throw all we had on the mix. The drummer OVERHATE used to have was kind of he wanted to lean toward a more progressive sound because he used to love bands like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Dream Theater and Spock's Beard and all of that. And at that time, the lineup that we have, the guitarist and I used to play bass guitar there, but we're more, leaning toward a more aggressive and let's say extreme
Yeah.
metal sound because we were a lot into Slayer, Creator, Testament, all of those bands, and everybody had a mix of something. When it was like to write a song back then was pretty funny because it was quite a complicated to mix all that when it came to make a one particular song. So yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I love from that first inception of the band came songs that made it even to the second record. For example, International Slavery Song and The Consuming Element are songs that were made when the band had its first lineup together. So you can have a glimpse of how it sounded like. Then when we did our second record, I moved from the bass to the guitar because I'm originally a guitarist. And
Okay, I must ask if is it different than playing bass or just guitar?
yeah, it's a lot different. It is
Yeah,
a lot different. I mean, you play bass in an extreme metal band. It's and you're originally a guitarist. You play like if it was a guitar mainly. I did use like
yeah,
fingers here and there because some parts of the songs requested it, and there was a lot. I do like to play bass, and that is
yeah.
right. So I did add my because the bass guitar is a very cool instrument to be on its own. Rather I prefer a guitar, but if you get to know that, you do that. So yeah. So then when the songs demanded a sort of a bass part to be written, I did it. I mean, in our first record, there's one song called "Falling and Feeling" that even has a bass solo in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good.
O- Okay, so what do you like more, play guitar or bass?
Nah, guitar definitely.
Okay, okay, I understand you. So,
Yeah,
do you have any favorite songs from your band, and can you tell me why just that song?
yeah. I mean, from the new record, it will be very hard to pick, but I would say that "Realities Collide" is one of my favorite songs because I feel that I really achieved where I was looking for with that particular song. It has like its epic intro. It's got you know. Uh, a ton of speed and groove and also a very cool guitar solo.
Yeah,
you know, I really like that song. Even to play live, it's pretty challenging. It's one of the hardest ones I've ever written. From the second record, the song "Figure of Deception" stands out. It's the heaviest one on that record, and I really like it. I mean, to play it live was always funny. And from the first record, there's a song called "Forgiveness," which was the first song that we wrote together as a band when we started out. And that song still has like a place in my heart. But if you ask me what are my favorites to play from the new one, I would say "Beneath the Curse," without a doubt.
I checking out your band today in YouTube, and I really, really like it, and I am sure we will play it in the radio.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, from the new record, my favorite cuts to play would be "Crossroads Songs," "Realities Collide," as I said, and "Beneath the Curse."
Okay.
Beneath the Curse is one of my favorites to play ever. That song is so good. I mean, I really like it. I
Okay.
really like that song. Something that
How
stands
many
out.
years have you played?
Huh?
How many years have you played in your band?
Since its inception, and we're in 2022. We're almost 20 years
Okay.
old. So it's 19 years there. Wow, I feel old. Don't ask that question again.
You feel you feel old when you are 20, but I feel old when I now in January 40.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, so uh, that's your favorite song. So what do you think is most important when you make the songs? When you're sitting and write the songs and make the music for the songs.
Wow, that's a very interesting question. That I would say that before when I wrote, it was a you sat down and you wanted to write that killer riff in order to
Yeah,
headbang to it, all of that. But right now it's different because it's like even as weird as this may sound, the goal to this is like to try and translate the experience that we have through the music we make. Because I think at Overhead already achieved its own sound. So the occasional when you sit down with the guitar and start writing the occasional aggression and you want to do the riff, the headbang will always come.
mm,
But then the hardest part comes when you really want to translate, like, okay, I really I want to write about this topic. So how does this make me feel? And from that perspective, you really come up with music that would surprise yourself. You know, one of the best examples for that in the New Beginnings Are Met record, there I can give you three songs that will give you a glimpse to it. One of them is Got Up Found.
yeah.
Uh, that was a song in order to make the how do I feel about religion? And then all of a sudden I got this very dense track for the record. It's actually one of my favorites because it's quite experimental when you hear to it. The song Beneath the Cursive, that was like the political song.
Okay.
And there's one called Hidden Behind Words because I Hidden Behind Words was made uh, again with some kind of experimentation. It's a very long song. I love long songs, but I mean it's not on purpose. That one just came out and it's almost 8 minutes long out of nowhere because I didn't even have an idea. So when that song came out, it was like I was trying to, channel some kind of speech. That's why
Yeah.
it's called that. So and it just came all of a sudden. I have this song with the. Also it has a very 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 cool guitar solos from Osvaldo and myself. It's really good. So it's like I'm telling you, when you try to translate how do you feel into a song, it will surprise you
You know,
what can come out.
when I started listening to you, I was in the gym, and it's perfect for that.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah.
I would say so too. Yeah. One of the songs that we're working on is a leftover from that session, and we're gonna send it out as a single. But that song is 12 minutes long. Again, it's not intended. It's not on purpose. It just happens.
Mm.
So it needed a long song to express a lot of stuff, and that's what's gonna go your way.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I really like the guitar solo you made in the songs because it's hard and it's how you say that in English. It's cool, you know.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
so can you tell me how the band name coming up?
Yeah, that was like we were sitting out. It was actually intended to be the first record name. Our debut album was gonna be called that, but then afterwards we had a friend that used to hang out a lot with us, and he said, "No, man, the name Overhate, that's the name of the band. You can't name your record that way. You need to name the band that way." So we all like look at each other like, "Why didn't we think of this before?" And it just happened like that. It was pretty just after a night of enjoying some good beers, and it came out like that. Just because that guy really had a point. He did elaborate. He said like that it's a short moniker. The word is catchy. Everybody will remember it, and I do think that it's like a good when you listen to Overhead, you will feel like this. And
Yeah.
we were like, he's totally right. We just have to name the band this way.
Yeah, normal. I don't like that kind of metal because I am like power metal and 80s rock, and that's kind of metal I like.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
your band shocked me.
Yeah, well,
So, so what will you say are different with your band and from other bands?
well, actually, I right nowadays it's complicated because you have a lot of subgenres and all that stuff. And when we started out, it did have, like especially from where we come from in Venezuela, there wasn't many people doing that kind of music. Not that there are right now. I still feel that there aren't, but just that you play that kind of thrash, death,
Mm.
progressive metal, and you add clean vocals to it, and again, there's stuff because again, if you try to translate how you feel through that music, there is some surprises over there. So there are songs that have stuff here and there that
Yeah,
in at least to my eyes and to my ears they don't fall anywhere else. So and I think that's what makes the band unique, and I'm kind of proud of that. So yeah.
that's great. So, how do you see your band in 5 years?
Well, I actually hope to be doing another record, and when it comes up, right now, I'm glad that everything starts opening again. We're trying to figure out a European tour for next year. I hope it does come to pass because we want to do New Beginnings are met some good justice. Also, we want to play Venezuela as well. When we do that, we will get the next record ready because if the pandemic have one good thing was that I wrote the whole new record there, and so
And the fucking corona is coming up in the every interview, and I understand why.
yeah, I mean that new record is different to the ones that we have done, but it's pretty much still on that vein. And we have to see what comes out because when I sit down with the guys to prepare this new record, I think it's going to surprise everybody. But again, we have to give some justice to New Beginnings Are Met, play it live, all of that. And I do still want to revisit some of the old cuts, like playing live. I miss playing those songs, definitely. You know,
Yeah, I can understand. So, okay, so are you going to any gigs in this year? Yeah, offhand,
sorry.
do you are going to any gig on this year in the end?
No, we're not playing a gig before the end of the year because I've already have a couple of concerts coming out with one band that I do have a solo project, and also there's been a very good year, I have to say. At least personally, it was, and we all need a vacation.
Okay, vacation is great.
Yeah,
So,
but
what is your plan for next year?
that we're gonna release this leftover track. It's called "The Crushing Shade." The from the New Beginnings Are Met sessions, and also we're gonna give a video for the track "Our Problem," and that's the song that was the most radio friendly song we've ever done, and it's on that record. We're gonna do a video for that. Meanwhile, if we finalize this Europe tour, which I hope is going to come. We go do the tour, we come back, and then prepare the new record. And I guess that right there finish up to some the whole next year for this band.
Okay, so maybe you're coming to Sweden.
I hope so, most definitely.
Have you
Yeah.
been here?
No, no, I'm in Europe right now. I'm in Spain, but I would
Okay,
love to be in Sweden for once. Yeah,
okay, cool. You told me you have a solo project. Can you tell me more about that?
it's this band actually.
Okay, cool.
It's
So,
that's a prog and roll band. Those were songs that I wrote, and immediately it says like I can't. There's no way that this could be used in Overhate. So I need another band like to put it out. So we started like I started jamming with some friends of mine from lifelong friends that I have, and we started jamming, and it came out together pretty nicely. So now we have a. Before we knew it, we have like 25 songs, and we've started playing live a lot. So I kind of enjoy it, but it's a very different band. While Overhate is thrash death metal, this one would sound like I always say that it's a mixture between Opeth and the Foo
okay,
Fighters, but that's not true now.
okay. So, okay, that's cool. So, are you ready for the 10 fast question?
Yeah, sure.
What is your dream with your band?
Well, I guess that nowadays I want to get back to the point where we were, where is where the band could sustain itself financially. I was pretty comfortable when we first made it in 2012, and I want that to happen again, because certainly all in life is like to have possibilities, and the more you do it, the more they come. So I guess that's quite what I want to do.
Yeah, that's true. So, what do you, which song do you wish you have made from the, from the big star?
Wow, well, that's a very tough question.
Yeah, is it?
To the top of my head, in this very moment, I mean, and let's just stay into the extreme metal category, should we say? And I would hope to have written "When the Sun Burns Red" by Creator. Creator is my favorite band. So,
Okay, so what is the best concert you have seen?
oh my God, another tough one. Does it have to? Because I have there was one concert done. It was 5 years ago or 4 years ago. I don't remember. It was a Metal World United concert that took place in Caracas, and all of my favorite bands from the national scene that is played there. So for the Venezuelan bands, that was a very cool concert because I saw most of the bands I look forward to play that night. It was excellent. And from the international bands, well, there was a concert where Creator and Exodus played Venezuela, and it was amazing. It was pretty violent, but it was amazing. Also, and in the biggest venue that Caracas has, a Nine Inch Nails played there, and it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. I mean, Resnor did like a light and theatrics and a bunch of stuff. It was mind blowing. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
you know, it was just amazing. Slayer concert in Caracas was also amazing because Slayer came in and they came there with the Christ Illusion tour, but they did play a set that was pretty close to the Decade of Aggression record. You know that live record they have, right?
yeah, yeah. I saw Slayer in 2001 in the Big Four with Metallica.
Oh my God, that should have
So
been quite a sight. Yeah,
yeah, it's a really great concert.
yeah.
So I think Megadeth and one more band that always forget.
Anthrax,
Yeah,
Anthrax,
Anthrax. I
Metallica,
always
Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax are the big four for American metal and stuff.
yeah. I just was there for Metallica because I really really love Metallica.
No, we all do. I mean,
Yeah, I do.
there's no question about it.
No.
Yeah.
So, what is the best record ever have released?
Wow. Another tough question. Hey, you're getting the tough questions in, right?
Yeah, I will give more.
Yeah. Well, let's say now that we share the love for Metallica, you have to say the Master of Puppets have to be that. But my favorite record of all time, I guess I don't have one. But there's it, you know, 1990. Well, I don't think you can see them
Now
there.
it's a little bit bad.
Yeah. But there's The Bleeding by Cannibal Corpse, Coma of Souls by Creators, Slayer's Divine Intervention is there, Morbid Angels, Altars of Madness. Uh, and those are records that are pretty important to me. I mean, it's too hard. You can't just pick one. It's
Okay,
impossible.
okay, we can skip that one.
Yeah,
So, what is your dream destination to go and play on with your band?
Vakan.
Yeah, stupid question.
That
Stupid
was
question.
easy. Yeah,
So, what is the most unrated band in the world?
the most.
Unrated.
What would that be?
You know, what is name in English? I think I say it right. Unrated. Can type it for you if you can see that.
Yeah, let me just see here quickly.
Which one?
Underrated band in
Yeah.
the world. Well, there's quite a few. Death. Uh, I think a Death would be one, don't you
Okay.
think?
I am not sure. Uh, I I am not thinking about that question yet because I made it today.
Yeah, yeah. You don't think about the question. You're the one doing the questions.
Yeah, but you are the one who will answer it.
Well, there's many a band that's underrated. I'd say the Death would be one. what other band would I think it's underrated? Come on. Maybe Gorguts. Most of extreme metal was underrated at the time, and there's a lot of people that discover them now and gets blown away. And it's just stuff that we've been listening to for like too long. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like an underrated. It's quite a term because most of the bands became underrated because despite the fact that they do such good music, I don't think they just did the job in order to take it out there, right? So
That that's true.
yeah.
So can you say me a record people don't think you listen? You know, have you a secret music style you have listen?
Um, I'm pretty sure that people wouldn't picture me listening to Tigran Hamaisian. He's a Armenian pianist, jazz pianist.
Oh,
His music is something else. I mean, I really like it, and I started listening. I discovered him to get out a record called Shadow Poet or Shadow Theater, I guess it is. And when you listen to that record, you'll understand. It's so
I
good.
need to
You have to
check.
like jazz for that, but it's really cool.
I need to check him out.
Yeah,
So big or small scene?
the Venezuelan one is small, no question. And despite the fact that 10 years ago it was a lot bigger because it is now a lot smaller because a lot of people just emigrated from the country. But before, despite the fact that it was still small, uh, I can't complain because we did have the luxury and the opportunity to, play most of the
Yeah,
venues there nationwide. We won 2 awards for best new video and best new record when Relentless Is Our Strength came out in 2011. Uh, we, it's like we did for what it's worth. We really did it, the biggest we could. Even our second record ended up selling like 700 or so copies in a very small metal scene.
yeah,
But that's quite an achievement anyway. In Venezuela, being a small country, it of course has a small amount of metal people.
yes.
It's not as
So
big as you would picture it, but that's pretty small. And then contact with big scenes. I don't know. I love to be in contact with the European ones, like I'm telling you.
okay, I can understand you say small scene because a lot of band I talk with you say small scenes because you coming closer to the public.
Yeah.
So festival or open gigs.
No, I will say own gigs, I guess, because festivals give you a lot of exposure, but own gigs, when done right, can give you a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
It
Uh,
depends on what you like, because you know what? This year with the bands that I have there, we've played festival and own concerts, and the own concert that we play, the only one we did, gave us a lot of money. That was hilarious because we didn't think that people would go there. I mean, it's a very small venue. It's very cool. It was well located, but it's a small venue. We said, okay, we're going to do the show there, see what happens, and we packed it in.
yeah, that's true. So, are you ready for band question? You know, every
Yeah,
band I talk to, we give a question for next band.
yeah, sure.
So, do you find this difficult to start a new band from the scratch?
Well, but I mean, you have to, in this kind of thing, you have to do it because you like it first. I mean, music is the type of thing you can't do it that, hey, I'm going to be rich with this. Well, ¿qué pasó? No, ya va. Uh-huh. So that's the one thing. I mean, when you do music, it's like, okay, you just have to do it for love and because you like it, and everything will come afterwards. So if you want to start from scratch, just do it because you like it. And again, the more you do it, the more opportunities, the more possibilities will present themselves. Because otherwise, at least with Overhead, it was exactly like that. We started out, it was at least a very good moment, and then the more we did it, the more things started happening, and the more
Yeah,
we tour, the more opportunities to tour we've got, the more we Well, of course, the more you tour, then the more money we could get out of the sales for more records and T-shirts and merch and stuff. So that's how we recorded a second record and then kept on doing it. And I guess it's just constants what brings you somewhere with everything in life, but in music in particular, it's got to be
Mm.
that definitely.
Yeah, I understand. So, do you want to give a question to next band?
A question to next band, in not knowing what band will come.
Nope.
Let's leave them a question to the likes of. Let's leave them a question like, how do you think you have to do in order to make it to the steps of the band that influence you?
Okay, great question. And the last thing, do you want to say anything to everyone want to see this interview?
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope that you guys like our music, listen to it because it was done with a lot of hate. And thank to
Sure.
you for the interview, man. Nice
Thank
time.
you.